I think we should be live. I think there we go. All right. Good morning.
Hello, Mike.
Happy Monster Monday.
Happy Monster Monday. Hello, anybody in the internet ethos?
Here's this view.
What's wrong?
Tom's live looks terrible.
Blur. Oh, that's because my lens isn't wrong.
Didn't clean your lens. My wife always.
It's a little better now.
Might it be the internet? My wife always takes tons of pictures, and her lens is always dirty.
Yeah.
So like in videos, and she'll show this cute video. I'm like, honey, wipe your lens before you start. She never remembers.
Mine is awful because when we did the spray foaming inside that attraction, it got flecks of spray foam all over, and it would not come off.
Oh no.
So.
Well, before we get started today, or as we get started today, I just want to thank you for the Easter haunt.
Yeah, that was fun.
To anyone watching or gets to watch ever, are you guys gonna do that again next year?
Yeah, definitely.
That is the coolest thing, man. It was so fun. My son loved it.
So you've been to most of the holiday events now, right? You went to the Christmas one?
Yeah, I didn't make it to the
didn't make it to the
Valentine's, but but yeah.
What did you prefer, the Easter or the Christmas?
What was the Christmas one? It had Krampus, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm 90% not sure I made it to the Christmas one, but now I'm not sure if I did.
I don't know.
I love the Easter one.
Yeah.
I love that when you said that there was going to be like an Easter egg hunt in there. I was like, I don't think that's going to work. Because I'm trying to imagine like the logistics of people like taking too long. And it did. It was perfect. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the interaction with the actors and whatever, it's so fun, man. Like my son was all excited. He's grabbing a little egg and they're like, no. And he gets super scared and then he wouldn't take it. And it's like, it was so fun, man.
That's awesome. That's what it's all about. What
a cool idea, man. That's it was great. So thank you for having us. Anybody that does watch, you get a chance, make sure you come out to the holiday haunts as well.
The holiday stuff is really fun, and it's building a nice fan following that is we're seeing familiar faces come back every time, but I saw so many new faces with these. The Easter Haunt was our second most attended haunted attraction day in history. So
that's awesome.
Like 2021, we had one day where we had more, but and we were only open 2 hours, so it was less time than normal haunted house, and we put way more customers through.
That's so cool.
Why is it not letting me?
Are we having technical difficulties, Kayla?
Yeah, it's not letting me watch any of the YouTube lives because I'm restricted.
Oh, you've been kicked off of our platform.
You got kicked off for YouTube for being
you got blocked.
So you're not sure if it's even going live to YouTube yet?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure.
Technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Justin said he's going to send one, so if he is, he'll
tell us tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. I see sounds working. It says we're live. Let me check.
It says that you guys are live. It just says that I can't watch them.
You've been restricted.
You can't watch?
Yeah.
That's really weird. Like from like your personal account or Tom's account or something?
This one's mine. It says video unavailable. The video is restricted. Please check the Google workspace.
Maybe, just maybe, we were going to talk some smack about you.
Because I wouldn't just be here.
Well, it's weird. It's like I'm trying to.
It's weird because this happens.
Yeah, like my YouTube channel. Actually, I wonder if YouTube's having an issue. Because I'm looking at my YouTube channel right now, and like only some of the videos are showing.
Huh.
Let me go into the next side. Let's see.
Oh, okay. I got onto the Monster Museum one. Looks like.
Okay, looks like we're live.
Well, guys, for you in the entertainment land out there, if you're watching, I have decided to continue on with this Frankenstein monster. This began as a De Niro Frankenstein, but at this point, I am just turning it into a cool Frankenstein inspired by the De Niro Frankenstein, and I'm going to use this as the full body creature that is going to be in our attraction we're building. So I'm going to step it away from the De Niro look, give it a little bit more wrinkles and striations, and make the wounds festery, and then I'm going to add this to this is going to become an original. That is what I have decided.
Justin says it's live, so
Thanks, Justin.
good to go. You got
That's so weird, man. Because I'm like having my channel. I don't know if it's something to do with the internet, but all right. If Justin says we're live,
I got it on both now too. So.
okay. Maybe I'm asking too much of my little computer. So you're now going to change this from the De Niro one. You're going to.
It'll be inspired by the De Niro one, but I am no longer going for a likeness. I am going to pull this into an original, and it's going to be our standard. We're going to have one Frankenstein monster full body that is hooked to a table, and when you flip a switch, he comes, like.
Oh, cool.
So this is going to end up being that guy. Just based on the design of what I locked in with the attraction, I figure this will work better there than what I was going to use it for before.
Cool.
We got a hi from the UK.
Awesome.
Hello,
He
UK.
says he loves what you guys are doing.
Very cool.
Thank you. What was I going to say? I notice a lot of times when you talk about you're making your little monsters, or that's your little monsters.
Little guys. Making my little dudes.
Little fun sculptures. You say often like that it's inspired by.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of times they're very, very similar likeness, or right on even. But kind of when you say that, what are the other like elements that is like some of the things you just kind of want to adjust to your own liking, or
Yeah, like so the skin texture on the De Niro scope is very smooth, kind of like this. That's a very Greg Canham look who created this. It's very smooth. I'm gonna add a lot more line work and wrinkles and make him look a little bit more EC Comics.
Okay.
A little less smooth, and then just I basically his scar placement and his shape is inspired by that. When you look at this when I'm done at this point, you won't see De Niro. You won't see, and that's just because I need a monster to hook to that table, and I had thought about using the guy up there, the trap jaw one that I love so much.
Fun. I love it.
But I think it's a little too cartoony for what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
So I'd rather keep it more serious. And this guy's got such a good start on him. Rather than starting over and making another one, I'm just going to use this one. The time is clicking on that attraction, so we are like, we got to get to moving here.
What? How's that coming along? What do you got?
It is coming along perfectly. Like we are pretty much dead on schedule.
Okay.
But the schedule is tight, so it's like even though we're on schedule, one false step could put us behind in one day.
Right.
I basically need to have it done, finished by May 7th. So my dad's out there working on electric work right now. I am, as soon as we wrap this up today, I'm driving to North Vegas across town to pick up some cool statues I found.
Oh, nice.
And then I am building out all the bookcases that need to be in there. I say bookcases, they're not really for books, they're for props, prop cases. And then it's just the theming and painting, which is just carving in the rocks and painting everything.
I saw the video with you and Waleed drawing them all out.
Yeah.
So
he's sketching, and then we'll carve all his sketches into it. And then on Wednesday, my friend Brian is coming from Florida. Just a haunted house builder from a long time ago. He used to work at Statesville and Prison of the Dead in Chicago. Very awesome haunts. And he's coming, and I'm going to have him work on a bunch of the doors. Like we have 9 sets of doors in there. It's just another thing that gets in my way of moving forward, is like stopping to hang all these doors. So I'll have him hang the doors. And then my good buddy Bizarro, local magician here in Vegas, also a professional escape room builder.
Oh,
He's gonna come wire up all the room controllers. So that'll be on like the 10th Friday, sometime over the weekend, whenever he wants to start. But he's got about 10 days to get the room controllers in. So we're moving through it, you know, and it's pretty good.
that's awesome. It looks like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of work, but like it's not really work. Like we're building a fun house.
Yeah.
Like if you're not having fun building a fun house, what are you doing? You know? And
Yeah, you're building like a, it's like a little kid inside, like building forts, but like
Building
for real.
but that's like my whole life. I always say
Yeah.
like I'm building setups, like
Yeah.
like action figure setups, but with full size figures. And even at the Monster Museum, now I've got all the vehicles in the front room. Like we really are building setups. You
That's
know?
awesome. On a slightly unrelated, well, completely unrelated, I watched Scream 7 last night.
What'd you think?
I've come to the conclusion, because I think I told you before, that I have, you know, I just kind of binge watched
Yeah.
all the screens leading up to it again. There were a couple I hadn't watched yet. I love Ghostface. I love Scream. I will watch every Scream that they make. If they make 100, I will watch them all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't love them. I don't know. Like they're just hokey, and I know that that's what they're meant to be. Like they're exactly what they're meant to be. But I mean, I don't know how I want to spoil things for people, but like,
Oh, it's been out long enough.
okay, good.
Well, let's talk about
Yeah, and if you haven't, if we're going to talk about some spoilers, so you can check back in.
So
But-
here's my thing with what I'm interested to hear, because I don't quite know your opinion on it yet.
Yeah.
But you just binge watched all of them, so it's all so fresh and
Yeah.
so like repetitive in your head.
Yeah.
But what I loved about Scream 7, I'll just come out and say
Yeah.
I love Scream 7, and a lot of people complained about it. I love that movie, but what I love about it is the nostalgia throwback to the original, the fact that Kevin Williamson came back and wrote it, and I felt so nostalgic for the 90s. I was like in that theater breathing my youth, and and I don't know if that works the same.
It was the
when you
most
just,
like Scream 1.
Yeah.
Than any of them. And
I liked it more than Scream 2, and I love Scream 2.
I honestly, it probably is my second favorite. It probably
Okay,
is.
okay.
And it's like, and so to be clear, like my complaints about Scream is like, it's
They're
just
not complaints, they're critiques.
Yeah, and it's just like I guess what it gets to is like with any of these franchises that go on forever. I think that why like I am a Jason fan and a Friday the 13th fan so much is that
They don't take themselves so
they don't
seriously.
take them so seriously, and you're not asking this incredible ask of having a character outside of the killer that lives for 10 movies. You know what I'm saying? It just
Right.
becomes like the Scream. When we were watching it, my wife, like towards the end, she's like about Cindy, she's like, man, this lady's had a terrible life. You know, like, and that's you know, every time it's the same thing. She's strong, she sticks, you know, she beats him, she lasts. And then, you know, it starts all over again, and like she's
Then her
confident.
kids are involved.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, at one point it would just be better for Cindy to just, you know, let Ghostface just knock her out.
She can't do it.
I
She's
know.
the survivor.
Yeah, but that's the challenge of those movies.
Yeah.
Like when you keep, and that's what's sort of
I
exhausting.
love how they
but
poked fun at the one she's not in.
I did too.
I love. I really enjoyed that movie, and I love it because like part of my filmmaking comes. We've talked about it before. Like Clerks made me understand that I could make movies.
Yeah.
Scream made me want to make movies. Like it was like, whoa, look at all the inside humor and nerd knowledge. You never saw nerd knowledge in a movie before Scream. A little bit in Nightmare on Elm Street, just a little bit, but with Johnny Depp's character. But I felt like this was just awesome, you know, for me. And then I saw the reviews. A guy who watches our show frequently, a very good friend of mine, Jesse Davidson, wrote online that he hated that movie, and it hurt my feelings because I think me and Jesse have a very similar opinion on
Right.
everything, and especially when it comes to horror movies. And usually he likes the shit nobody else likes.
Right.
And for him to hate that movie, I was like, "What happened? What happened?"
I think one of the this is also like this is interesting because I think it's also sort of the strength of the movie, but also the problem with the movie for me is that what's so cool about Scream is how the voice changed. What was it, part 2 or part 3? It was part 3 where it was like it was not using Ghostface's voice; it was using other like it was disguising the voice in different ways.
Disguising the voice.
And so I was like, oh, cool, the technology's upgraded, so it now can play with
For
things.
whoever's watching live, I almost dipped this brush in my coffee cup. And I stopped myself. It didn't actually touch down. But I was very close. I can't tell you how many times that happened.
So the idea when they said Matthew Lillard was coming back, and I didn't. I guess that's my point. Is like my deep hope for Scream at this point because it has gone on for so long. Is like I just want the supernatural element now. Like I want Schumacher to come back from the dead. I want the the stupid sort of soap opera thing of like he was never dead. Like the thing they set up throughout the movie.
They almost did it. They're like he was in this insane asylum with amnesia, and I was like, yes. And it wasn't. It was a hoax, but it almost gave me that moment because I think he did that for us that do want that.
Yeah, like would you like that, or do you like it? Yeah, see, and that's what like I would love to see Scream cross over to Ghostface just being a supernatural killer.
Well, they always tease that zombie Ghostface mask like it was gonna be like Rob Zombie's Halloween, but with Ghostface, and it never really made the cut. It was available for sale, and it shows up briefly, but it's not like Ghostface never went full zombie. And the zombie Ghostface mask is awesome. I used to sell them in the Monster Museum because I just loved the way they looked.
What do they look like? I don't know.
They look like if Rob Zombie's Halloween mask was a Ghostface mask.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I'll have to send you a picture. Yeah. But they're pretty widely available, like for sale for Halloween. But they never quite made the movie. And they were intended for Scream 4, I believe. And they never made it in.
Like, I love all the same things you're talking about, like the way that it wraps up like the nerd culture, like all of us that love horror. It just is so formulaic that it gets a little exhausting. Yeah. I think that, but that's it. Like the movie's good. It's just.
You also have to think about that formulaicness that gets exhausting. That's
awesome. I love that. Yeah, that's really cool.
That we're introducing new audiences because this movie's made for 14-year-olds, not 40-year-olds. Yeah. So we're introducing new audiences to that feeling every time, and then they'll go back and find the others. So it is exhausting because we've seen it over and over. But sometimes I have to remember, like, this movie's made for teenagers. It's for high school kids. It's not just for us. And
that's the thing is like that's the incredible challenge that they have is like they need to make a movie that we like, but then people who've never seen one could also enjoy.
Exactly. And
that's a tough challenge.
God, I love the chick that is kind of famous right now from all the Yellowstone and or 1883 or whatever, Landman, and then she got hung up like Drew Barrymore. Like that's our famous girl to them, to the youth. That's the famous girl, like Drew Barrymore. Yep. They'll never kill her. She's the famous one. Boom, guts spilling out on the stage.
That was they had some really cool kills.
I thought a little bit. These guys watch Teddy Told Me To. That's what I thought. When I saw those guts, I was like, yeah, they understand. They watch Teddy Told Me To.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Like when he puts the dude up on the the beer tap?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like at first I didn't realize that was a beer tap because they had like the spike thing, and then when the liquid's coming out, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I realized like, oh, that's amazing. And so I think that one has the best kills of any of the ones.
It really did have a good set of gore.
Yeah, so that was fun. Which also made me think a lot about it. It's like, I love that. I think that Terrifier has opened the studio's minds to them not wanting to dumb down the gore as much as they did in the past. Trying to make it PG.
Yeah, like they're kind of like telling the ratings boards, hey, leave them alone. We want to make money.
Like, we're trying
Guys, this independent, unrated film made a lot of money. We need to be there with it.
Yeah. And I felt like I saw that movie, especially after watching them all back to back.
I'd like to hear like an official report if that's true. If like Terrifier has affected the mainstream, like if there's just a meeting with Universal that's like, guys, this little movie is kicking our butt.
They're telling the filmmakers, like, guys, we need more gore.
We're now licensing an independent film to build haunted attractions at our theme park. We're gonna need to step it up.
Yeah, the guys that were telling them to cut out the gore are now the guys that are like, guys, you gotta like, what's the deal?
I guess that's a good moment for horror.
It's a great moment for horror. And the reason why I think that is true is because when the last, what was it? I think it was Saw came out. One of the recent major franchises, I think it was Saw. One of their marketing lines was bloodier than Terrifier.
Oh my god!
I saw somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, that's so goddamn cool, man!"
That's an accolade for Damien Leone.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's amazing. Like that's an amazing achievement. I mean, all of what he achieved with Terrifier is amazing. But that's, and I do think that it's like one of those things where it's like, it's cool to see those really fun kills, and I like that. The other thing that bugs me about Scream, and the whole franchise does this, is like, do you know, or do you like? Is it easy for you to spot who the killer is going to be immediately? Almost.
I try not. I don't even try. I don't. I enjoy the ride. Me and my wife talked about this after time, because everybody that we went and saw was like, "Oh, I knew it was so and so. I knew it was." I shut my brain off and I follow the story. I listen to the words being said. I let myself look for the red herrings because that is the story placed in front of me.
Yeah.
I've never once, since Scream 2, when I was trying to guess who it was because I was a kid.
Right.
I would rather enjoy the journey and not be the know-it-all. It's more fun for me.
I don't know if I can turn that brain. Like I'm always trying to figure out that's part of why I love watching all the movies I like to watch. But you're right about it, like, because that's the other thing about these types of movies. Like, they're just meant to be fun. Like, they're meant to just be experienced.
Yeah, they're just meant and they are meant to be seen in the theater with a group of friends. 100%. And I took all my friends to go see it. All the Monster Museum folks came out, and we it was the most fun. Like, and not everybody loved it, but I don't care. I don't know who didn't. I can't even remember whose opinions were what, but I do know that when I left, both me and my wife were like, that was so fun. Because, like I said,
a fun movie.
It took me straight back to the 90s, watching the original Scream, watching Scream 2, even Scream 3, which I saw as I was like moving across country to become a Hollywood mainstay. Like, I mean, these movies fell in line with my love for Hollywood and wanting to make movies. So, in order to enjoy them, I do shut off a lot of the post movie maker attributes, and I step back into the 15-year-old Tommy that just can't believe how cool this is, Right. And there's so much swagger in Scream. There's always Stumacher was a nerd, but he was crazy and fun. Randy was so cool to me. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's a movie nerd. He's a movie nerd, but he's wearing a Fresh Jive shirt. He's a skater. Randy's a skater. Yeah. And he worked at the video store. So did I. I worked at Mr. Video, and I wore those Fresh Jive shirts and Birdhouse shirts, and I loved Scream, and I loved all the rules, the howling stuff and everything. I just have such a hard time with anybody that complains about these movies, because I'm like, you guys are forgetting how to have fun. You've all grown up and forgot how to fly. You need to find yourself a thimble and understand where Neverland is, because this movie brings me right back there.
Yeah.
He says he liked the movie. He just hated the ending.
Way to post about it like a fucking thirst trap, Jesse. Oh, this movie's terrible. Fuck Scream 7. Guess what? That movie was hard to make. Those guys all worked 12-hour days. They had a lot of fun doing it, and you just bashed them, bully.
Yeah, it was. I was
It's
surprised.
okay to hate the ending, dude. Like you just said, hey, you hate the ending? That's fine because those endings are made to be like, I love that one, or God, I hated that ending. I hated the ending in Scream 3. I thought Scream 3 was like, and I love Wes Craven, man, and I love that movie, but I hated the ending. And to me, that just says that's part of Scream, right? Like sometimes you love them, sometimes you hate them.
Yeah.
Jesse says he's a troller.
You sure you are a troller.
People
I believe that. I've seen it. I've seen it.
are as good at being a
We
troll.
also have many greetings from Germany today.
Oh.
Oh, Germany.
Guten Tag, wie geht's?
Hey, look at that. They spoke German.
Someone said, what happened on Bermuda Island? I heard they abandoned you at the island sick. What's the real story?
That is true. Who's saying this? So I know I'm not going to start some track.
Is John Hit?
Okay, I'll talk. So on Bermuda Island, which is a movie that I shot on a little island called Vieques off of Puerto Rico. There's like, you have to fly to Puerto Rico and then take a ferry to Vieques. And Vieques is a tiny little tropical island that is like magical. It is magical. There's wild horses everywhere. There's only a population of like 1,000 or 1,500 people. They're a very small population.
Okay.
Maybe more. I don't know. But there's no hospital on Vieques. There's no facilities really. There's like empanada stands and some tiny little bars and restaurants, dirt roads, dogs everywhere, and wild horses. Like I said, at night all the street lights are red because so the whole island's lit up red because they have bioluminescent bays. The water glows like neon
Oh,
water,
wow.
and if you have typical street lights, it will kill the organisms that make the bioluminescent.
Oh, wow.
So it's all red lighting. Beautiful, wonderful place. Tropical jungle. It feels like you're in Jurassic Park. It really does. So me and my team, Waleed and Chris, were doing a creature feature there called Bermuda Island for the Mahals. And we made 4 creature suits that were really badass, lots of deaths and all this cool stuff. But we were only working nights because we're the monsters. So the monsters only came out after dark. So we got to play in the ocean and like explore this like ruins of this old pineapple factory. And we found all these cool trails in the jungle that had not been seen in forever. And we're like bashing around in this lady's Explorer that I borrowed. I borrowed a local's car. I was like, hey, I don't have a vehicle. Is there any way, if you have an extra, I could borrow it? And she let me borrow her Ford Explorer.
Jesus.
Her name's Angie.
Was she working on the project?
Yeah, she was like a liaison to the community. So they didn't think like they were run over by these Hollywood people. Because like Black Panther shot there too. So they were used to like big movies coming. Anyway, my wife, my children, and Kayla came to visit because I was like, you guys got to get it. This place is magical. So they all got on an airplane and came there. And I took them out to the bioluminescent bay and I started feeling really gross. And all of a sudden, I realized I wasn't having the most fun. Like, out of everybody on that boat, I should have been having the most fun. Like, when they're letting my kids jump in this neon water, which is like illegal.
Oh, really?
If you take a tour, you don't get to swim in the water. But I found that lady Angie who let me borrow her Explorer. Her son took us out on a boat and let us do whatever we wanted to. I should have been doing backflips into that water. And I'm like, why am I not having so much fun? And then when we got back to shore, my wife's like, I can tell there's something wrong with you because that guy was smoking so much pot. And I hate the smell of pot. And I realized I couldn't smell anything. So I knew COVID was, this is like in the heart of COVID-19
right.
too. So I think this was in like 2020 or 2021. So then I didn't break in, but I let myself into the production office and found the COVID test and I took it and I popped immediately. And it was like, fuck. So I told my wife and Kayla and my kids, I was like, you guys have to get off this island because they're contact tracing anybody that has COVID.
Oh.
Because there's no facilities here and they need to stop the spread.
Right.
So I was like, you guys have to go or you're going to be quarantined.
Like
so
it
really was like a movie. So they were at an Airbnb. I told everybody that they left the island already. And then they found their way home. They went to San Juan and finished their vacation in San Juan. But me and Waleed and Chris all tested positive. Waleed never had a symptom.
Oh, really?
But Chris felt like he had a mild flu. I felt like I was like literally gonna die.
Yeah.
They locked me into a like the makeup room, which was like a room about the size of this, like 15 by 15 or 10 by 10, cinder blocks with a tile floor that was covered with sand. I had no changes of clothes. I had no food. I lived in that room for 12 days with a can, like a tin of saltine crackers, a thing of peanut butter, and 2 liters of Sprite. And that's all I had.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I think 6 cans of soup or 5 cans of soup or something that my wife had gotten from the little grocery store before I left. And I stayed there. The rest of the production moved on to San Juan. They left the island, and I'm stuck in this little there was windows, and it was beautiful outside, and there was iguanas. But I was in like the backyard of a restaurant, so they were tracing my cell phone, and if I left that room, they'd blow me up because the CDC was following me. So,
Interesting.
and I was so dead that I didn't feel like I could leave that room anyway. Like
Yeah.
I was bedridden for 12 days. Felt like my skeleton was trying to rip out of my skin. Sounded like fever dreams.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But Chris and Waleed, these guys, they got put in like a penthouse Airbnb that they're on this top level of the mountain that they could see 360 degrees of the whole island. They could see the horses. They could see all the stuff. And they had food delivery. There was a pizza place. They're calling Grubhub and getting pizza delivered. I didn't have any food. Nobody could bring me
You
food.
had soup?
I had 6 cans of soup for 12 days.
Jesus.
I lost like 40 pounds. It was crazy. And I remember Sherry Davis, she was also quarantined somewhere near me on the island. And when I got out of quarantine, she got out of quarantine. And I was like, the movie had already wrapped and gone. So I was like, I'm going home. It was Thanksgiving. And she's like, oh, I really wanted to see like the pineapple plant and some of the waterfalls and the stuff you guys saw. And I was like, you do that. I'm getting on the first ferry off this island. I am done. And I got off. I left Chris and Waleed there. The funny thing is, Chris was able to go home, but Waleed's still testing positive with no symptoms, and they wouldn't let him off the island. And Chris didn't leave without him because he's a real friend.
Oh,
And they ended up moving into Angie's house, the lady who let me borrow the Explorer, living in her basement. But somehow she forgot who they were while they were there.
Jeez.
That got weird. And but they spent Thanksgiving in her basement and came home on their own. We all made it back. It was such an adventure though, man. This adventure was like it was like living in Indiana Jones or something. Like escaping the island was real. And I had sushi in San Juan that was the best food I ever ate in my whole life. I don't know if it was because I was free or they just make really good sushi in San Juan. But
that was before or after your sushi?
On the way, right when I got off the ferry. Like the first thing I did, I spent $85 on a plate of sushi. And it was
you just starved for 2 weeks. I starved
for 2 weeks. I looked all emaciated like that dude in The Mechanic.
Yeah, Christian
Or machinist.
Yeah, machinist.
Yeah.
Machinist.
You know what I was talking about. I look like that.
Scott says, thanks, man. Appreciate the context on the story.
But out of all that, I will never speak negative about that experience because that's the kind of adventures I signed up for.
Yeah.
That's the kind of movies I wanted to make. Like you hear all this. I don't know if you guys know what Oblivion 2 is. Oblivion was a really cool full moon Wild West movie. Oblivion 2. It stars Andrew Devoff, Erwin Keyes. There's a lot of big horror names in it. But they got stuck in Romania. They wouldn't let them leave. That's why they made Oblivion 2, I think. I think they got stuck on Oblivion 1 and they're like, let's just keep making another movie. But I absolutely love those stories of like the jungle cannibal movies that just went wrong with Roger Corman and like this is what independent film is to me. So I'll never speak bad about it. It was such a fun time. And that movie is really good. There's one, I'm not going to get on it here because I'll get really negative, but there is one flaw with that film that I can't forgive, and it's because the effects team was in quarantine, guys. So
yeah.
they made the movie.
That was the whole effects team.
They made the movie without the effects team. So some of the effects looked a little bit less than. I flew back out and we did pickup shots and we really corrected all the mistakes. But there is a wound that is not considered. It wasn't ever on my list. It wasn't part of what I do. It was part of the makeup team. And it is travels. This guy Victor, this poor guy. He's the star of the movie. He helped write the movie. He paid for that. This is a crowdfunded film.
Oh, okay.
Paid a lot of money for that. He has a wound on his face that travels all over his face like the mole on freaking Young Frankenstein. It is all, and then sometimes it's gone, and then it's back. And poor Victor, because like this dude's a good actor. He has built a really good persona, and he paid a lot of money for that role. He helped write the script. He helped. He leads the film, and there's 3 leads really. I would say Sarah French, Victor, and John. Forgetting John's last name right now. He's a really badass guy. John Wells. Those 3 really lead this production, and Victor's continuity is so unprofessional in that film, and it ruins the movie for me. And I didn't do that. I have nothing to do with that. It was one of the makeup girls who had him as a responsibility. And that brings me to what we're talking, the Return to Shadow Valley. This is where my fears of Return to Shadow Valley come from, being involved in a production. There's someone who, I haven't talked to Victor about, but there's no way he's happy with what happens with that wound on his face. You know what I mean? So when we make our movie, and it is crowdfunded, I will in no way ever allow somebody to leave set and not be less than 100% stoked with how it goes. Because
that's a whole other
that's part of my
responsibility.
Not as the director, because as the director I got to direct the movie.
Yeah.
But as the producer, I have to make sure that the people that contribute are so stoked that they just want to tell everybody what a great experience it was.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody leaving with a negative taste in their mouth. And that brings me to a question, Mike. And this is not involving anybody in particular.
Okay.
But when we launch this campaign, if somebody buys in to that campaign and I see that name and I say, this is a red flag. I don't want this person. This person is going to disrupt the flow.
Got it.
Are we able to kindly replace their money and say, I'm so sorry, these parts are full? Do I say, I'm so sorry? I don't want to say, hey, you're an asshole. This isn't. Because that same person is the person that will go online and be like, these guys are running a monkey show. So what do we do? Because I can tell you there's 4 or 5, from my experience in this industry, there's 4 or 5 people that I don't dislike them. I'm actually friends with some of these people. But they're disruptive to other people. It might bother other people having them involved.
Yeah, I think that as we're fine-tuning everything, our wording will always sort of say that we have the right to sort of, because especially with some of the perks, it's like there's,
like the zombie can't be 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Zombie has to be 160 or lower.
And
that's not, I'm not body shaming, that's the character we're casting. You know what I'm saying?
And so like that's where.
And that rule is bendable if I need to put Chris Arredondo in a zombie makeup because he can pull the effect off.
Right.
If it's the right person,
But I also think, because we already sort of talked about this a little bit too, is like, and not to get off topic too much, but it's like, like as you kind of prep the movie and get a little bit closer, there will be fresh zombies that maybe there could be the option.
That's the thing. They could be party goer zombie.
Yeah, somebody that just turns. And that's cool.
That's
and I think but to your point, I think that we absolutely have the.
We have to have the right of refusal, but without hurting anybody's feelings. I'd rather offer them swag. I just can't have some people on set that are going to make our lives a little harder because they're going to be their energy is going to not mesh with the flow that we're trying to achieve. That's a big part of me casting my movies.
Yeah.
I cast a movie because I know everybody is going to work well together. And if I've had an experience in the past with someone who's a little more difficult and I need them in my movie because they're a name, because they're somebody who I respect, because I want their talent, I just segregate their part away from
Right.
other people. Also, sometimes I have great actors that I love to work with that aren't great at memorizing lines.
Right.
I try to keep them away from that people that would bother.
Yeah.
There are some people that really bothers that they didn't go through the time to learn their lines. I could say Ginger Lynn, who's one of my favorite humans, she memorizes the whole script.
Yeah.
She memorizes everything, so she's on it. So it might feel disrespectful to her to someone else who's getting paid similar,
Right.
which isn't cheap, that comes in and doesn't know their lines. So that could bother her. I'll try to keep those people apart, not because one's worse than the other. I'm willing to work with both.
No, but you're trying
I just want to keep
good
the
atmosphere. Yeah.
keep the atmosphere happy. So this isn't really a personal disdain for anybody. It is just being proactive in keeping the mood how we want the mood. You know.
Yeah, I think that we will have a little bit deeper conversations about that and see if we can sort of put up. I don't know if it is something we could put up sort of like a little bit of fail safes before it. But at the same time, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with.
I mean, I think really one of the answers is, I guess the answer, right way to word it for me would be, these roles are all purchasable, but they're also under scrutiny if you actually fit that role. So after we see your head, you buy the part, we see your headshot, we see that, then maybe we say, okay, not quite right for the role,
Right.
but this role would work great for you. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's actually good. Like, I think that once we fine tune these, put them in, we'll find some solutions to this. Just
I had kind of a similar thing. I was they're filming Poultrygeist 2 right now.
hmm
And I had talked to them about going out and being an extra in it. And the lady that's directing it, she's super nice, cool girl. She wrote me and she said, it's a long drive for a very small cameo. Perhaps you want to just self-tape. And I said, she's like, you can come out if you want, but there's
Okay.
chaos. It's Poultrygeist. Like, there's chaos.
Right.
But maybe you want to just self-tape. And I said, I'd love to self-tape. That's awesome. I don't find that disrespectful. I don't find that, you know. And if we had people that we wanted to self-tape, or if they wanted to self-tape, if there was a way to do it,
Yeah.
I would say I'll even be on FaceTime and direct while you self-tape, because that's something you don't see. See a lot of people self-tape in their living room without setting the camera up, right? I feel like I could direct through FaceTime and try to say, if they had a friend with another camera, we could really shoot it to look right, you know.
Yeah.
And then you'll want to use it rather than feel obligated to use it. I just want to make the best movie possible, and I don't want it to hurt because of what we're doing for funding.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like that is one of the biggest challenges, and I am excited to work through that with you because I've imagined all these same things.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, if this was my movie, I was directing and producing it, and like in the helm of it, I know that there are things that I wouldn't do, like just as far as like giving out parts.
Right.
But I would make totally different movies, and so it's like. I think that every case kind of like, and every individual kind of has their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll have to find is yours. But then also like,
and then going forward with you producing movies like this, each director, Joe Lujan or,
just want to do one.
Those guys, those other people you work with, you're going to have to find what works for them. They might have a much more loose. I'm a little more. I'm very into my cast members.
Yeah.
Part of that is my cast members are like my gang.
Yeah.
We make the same movies over and over. So sometimes we bring in new blood, but that new blood usually sticks around as well.
Right.
Steve says we should put a height requirement.
I can't quite put a height requirement, and my reason for that is, unless we want to make everybody look smaller than you. My reason is I need Eric Hart and Bobby Beamer to be hero zombies because they're great in prosthetics, and they're both thin and they're both short.
So with the height requirement, you would like them to be taller.
I love tall. Tall, skinny is the way to go.
Right.
But like my friend George, if I can get him available, he's not always available. He works with the firefighters and stuff. George is like almost 7 foot. He probably weighs 180 pounds.
Oh,
like
nice.
he's so thin, and
Just a perfect.
he does have an afro of hair that I never know how to hide. But George is Vuko, my friend Vuko, who's in Waleed's movie, and Vuko's also in the After Dark. Her husband George is just has to bend through every door. You know, he's huge. Looks like a basketball player. I'd love to put him in.
Some zombie makeup.
Yeah. But I do think as far as the crowdfunding goes, as long as we're not rude and we're being very upfront that like this is an opportunity but not a guarantee.
Yeah, what I've seen on other campaigns with a lot of certain things, because there's perks sometimes where you can put your song, if you have a band, you can put your song in the movie, but they have to sort of approve it.
Yeah, it can't be like a white power Nazi song.
Exactly.
You know,
or your brand or all those things, and so I do think all those perks, it's very acceptable.
Yeah.
To have some layer of like and obviously we're going to give the money back, and I think that that's a good thing. Like instead of bringing somebody out that's problematic that you're going to have to throw out in a couple of days and then they're out their money and everyone's pissed. It's like, if for some reason they're just not a good fit, it's smart to not put them through it and yourself through it. So
no, I definitely know a couple people that I would have to politely decline.
Right.
But that's just a chemistry thing, And also the fact that I'm trying to make the best movie. I'm not trying to sell my soul for money,
Yeah, because that's the other thing.
I also want us to have a really good reputation in this space if we're going to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want people to speak highly of us and be like, dude, those guys they were on it,
And that's why I love, like, I'm so excited about doing this stuff, is like, it sounds shitty, but it's like I keep seeing over and over again people do these things and people walk away so upset with whether they didn't get their perks or the experience was awful or not as promised. And so I just see this opportunity of like, man, if you just do a good job, you rise to the top pretty, just by being good and caring about it, as opposed to like just grabbing that money and going to do the thing that you want to do and not giving a shit how people feel about it. I'm not saying a lot of people aren't there, but there's a lot of people who do that. There's a lot of people that just like, get money and it's their project and it's all about them and everyone can fuck off.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are doing it for their income too. They don't put it all into the movie.
Yeah. But you want that, like, there's part of that like I get and I understand. It's like, but again, it can't. The people's experience and the project, they shouldn't suffer for that. Or shouldn't overpromise something. Like, I've seen some of these campaigns get like crazy, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you're like, that's a $10,000 movie, and it's like, and even if you're imagining everyone got paid well, all right, it's a $30,000.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's exactly why I set our price at 30, because between 30 and $1 million, we're getting the same B stars. We're getting the same, and that's not a bad thing. We're getting the same attainable names. We're getting the same. I don't understand where your money goes between 30 and $1 million. You know what I mean? It's
it's just about what kind of movies you make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is like, when obviously people that make million, well, no, I shouldn't even say obviously, because there's so much waste in movies, period.
So much.
But yeah, there is $1 million movie that all the money was spent well.
But when you
a lot that aren't.
You look at a movie like Tamara or Voodoo or those like theatrical horror films. This is like 2008, 2007 era. Those are $1 million, $2 million Toolbox Murders. These are $2 million movies.
Yeah.
They don't look any different than the films that I was making for $50,000. There's just no. I can't tell you what on the screen was different.
Right.
Same sets. I mean, we're all shooting at Lacey Street Studios. We're all shooting at Linda Vista Hospital. Like this, it's not any different. This is we were shooting at Crazy Gideon's on a movie called Butcher House, while Eliza Dushku $1 Million Movie was shooting on the same sets in the same space with the same crews. Like it's no both on F900 cameras. It's the same. So between that, what there is different is the unions.
Yeah.
You know, but the SAG, if you work FICOR, I can still have SAG people on my movies if they're FICOR. I can still do a SAG movie without doing union crew. You know, there's
another workaround where, like, if they're a producer on the movie, like the main actor.
Yes. That we've done that too on a movie called Dust Up.
What do you know about FICOR?
I love it. FICOR is the way to go, and SAG makes people feel very dirty for going FICOR, but not as much since like 2019, since the COVID thing, because basically FICOR is retaining your health benefits, but being allowed to work non-union, and it's just you can make more money on multiple non-union films than getting cast in that one union film that's going to give you residuals. And you have to work a certain amount of hours to keep up your health benefit. I'm not a SAG actor, but I am SAG eligible. I have my card. I could. All I have to do is pay, and I'm in SAG. Okay. I just never chose to because A, I'm not an actor, so there's no reason for me to pay for it. B, I left LA. There's really no reason. I used to do a lot of extra work while I lived in LA.
Okay.
And while being an extra. Actually, no. On a movie called Dust Up in Joshua Tree, I got Taft Hartley. That's when I got my SAG card. But being an extra, it would have helped me more because I typically made like 120 a day, but I would have made 300 a day if I turned union. So had I stayed in LA, I probably would have flipped union just to get the SAG extra roles.
Right.
Which usually are a little bit more featured. I was never an extra. I did.
Museum.
It is in a top secret, undisclosed location, very close to the Monster Museum.
It's funny. I remember I used to always listen to. I think we're back. So let me know if you guys can hear us. Um, what was it? The movie Crypt with Adam Green and.
Oh yeah, with Joe.
And
Joe.
he had his Aries Scope studio, but I remember he always tell these stories about how like some fans would show up sometimes and not be cool. You know.
You know, I've not had that problem. People know where to find me. You just come to the Monster Museum,
Yeah.
walk around, you can see my mess, and you can usually find me. But usually, 99.9% of the time, it is delightful to meet those people
Yeah.
that want to come by and see me, and it's always a good experience. I've never had anybody be like, "Bro, your puppet master sucks." It just doesn't happen. It's always happy, you know. And then when I do let them into where the shop is and show, you know, I do guided tours at the Monster Museum, and sometimes if it's
cool.
if it's the right person, I'll say, "Hey, I'll show you the Fortress of Solitude," and I'll bring them over here. This is where the magic happens. But I don't advertise where the shop is, but I do. We've made a lot of really cool things here. The other day on my daily show, I was putting together a Power Ranger costume that I had received back in the mail from Johnny Young Bosch, the movie Black Ranger,
Okay.
and the second Black Ranger, Adam. And I built that right where you're sitting, and I'm putting it back together right over here, and I'm like full circle.
Yeah.
It was very cool, and that costume means a lot to me. It lives in the Monster Museum now, not in the actual museum, but in the lobby, just for people to see for fun, because I'm real proud of it, and it was so cool that he wore that. But
That's awesome. And is that like yours, or is
It's mine.
they loan it to the museum?
no, he's done with it. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like it looks legit, but those movie costumes, they're not spandex. They're like sculpted foam, and they're real tight, really hard to get in and out of. So the first couple conventions he did photo ops in, huge success. But I'd go with him and get him in it, strap him in. I mean, it's tough.
Right.
And also, you kind of need a handler there to make sure the crowd stays away when you're walking from the dressing room to the thing, because it's like the Uber Jason suit when I put Kane in that. Dude, when he steps out, you're in the movie with him. Like it's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
so cool.
So
I've seen
they
it.
get swarmed a little bit, and you got to kind of like, I don't know. The security of the conventions usually helps with that, but getting them into it, like Kane can't put the Uber suit on by himself. Not for any. I mean, that's what effects guys are for.
Right. Yeah.
And the same thing with this costume for the Power Rangers. It's not just putting on spandex and some gloves. It's a lot of pieces, and it's tough. So he's just retired it, and the people that got it got it. Johnny is also very well known for anime voiceovers, so he doesn't.
Oh, cool.
He doesn't need. He's in Demon Slayer. He's in a lot of things, and so he doesn't need to do the photo ops. He probably loses money at his table when he leaves. So,
Right.
but his lines are like, I've never seen somebody with lines like Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I did, and most of them are not. I won't say most of them, but a handful of them, like my daughter, aren't aware that he had anything to do with Power Rangers.
Right.
They just think about the anime stuff because he's a lot of anime.
Yeah, I missed the Power Ranger window. I was just a little too old.
See, I say that about myself too, but I still fell in love with it.
But
I was right on the cusp. Like if you probably did miss it being that much older than me.
Yeah.
I'm 44 right now.
I feel like if I was your age, I would have loved it.
But I talk about it a lot. I was a little too old for like the toys and the memorabilia of Power Rangers, but I couldn't help myself. I loved the monsters, and I love martial arts, and I love Ultraman before Power Rangers. I loved Godzilla, and I love goofy polyfoam monsters. So I would buy all these like Polly Pocket type toys that look like morphers, and you open them, and it's like Lord Zed, or it's Rita's Empire, and Zordon's Command Center, and all the little tiny mini figures like Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
And in 7th, 8th grade, I'd have these at my desk, and I'm playing with them.
You bring them to school?
Yeah, because I never stopped playing with toys like that, and I got really ridiculed for the Power Ranger stuff. And I had like the Power Ranger watches, and I had like Power Ranger everything. We would go hang out at the mall with like our cool kid friends, and I'd go to KB Toys and just buy Power Rangers. And
You and I would have been best friends.
so I have this funny thing because like I grabbed onto it like it was like a quirky thing.
Right.
Like I was like, no Power, like how somebody might act like, you know, in high school they like Hello Kitty.
Right.
Like I got really overboard into Power Rangers, but the aesthetics of the artwork of Power Rangers was so cool to me. And it wasn't until years later I watched those specials on Netflix about like uh toys in the 80s,
Toys that made you or something.
Toys that made us, and the stuff like that. And that's when I found out that Stan Lee tried to bring Power Rangers back to Marvel Comics.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
incorporate it with Spider-Man back in the 70s, like when it was just Super Sentai. And
so the Power Rangers were around before.
Oh, Power Rangers, to go back to the set. All the footage of them fighting is Super Sentai. That's all Japanese. That's a Japanese Toho property. So,
okay.
So what Saban did? Saban is not Japanese. Saban is Middle Eastern, actually. Okay. Saban took Power Rangers, bought all the fight footage from Super Sentai, licensed it for nothing, came back to America, and made all the acting parts with the Rangers, Billy, Jason, Kimberly, Trini, Zach, American guys in like 3 sets. And then whenever it cuts to them fighting, it's just stock footage.
I never knew that. That's amazing.
Did you know, being a local, do you know Michael Sue?
Yeah.
Do you know that Michael Sue is a Red Ranger?
I don't think I knew that. I don't know him well, but I've met him a bunch of times.
Local Vegas filmmaker. He's a great cinematographer.
Yeah.
He was a Red Ranger stunt suit guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he did a lot of the live stuff like at Universal and things like that. But he knows all the moves stuff. He can still like, ooh, like he knows how to do it all. I'm such a Power Rangers geek. We were on a movie called Devil's Night, another Mahal movie. This is one of my favorite experiences. Kevin Sorbo, it was like a sword and sandal monster movie. There was Cyclopses and Bone Devils. It was so cool. We were in Texas on this Mahal movie, and our stunt coordinator was this guy named Terrence, who was a freaking Power Ranger stuntman as well. He played like a ton of the bad guys on Power Rangers. And Michael Sue and Terrence know each other from Power Rangers, and they're all morphing around. And I was like, geeking the hell out. I got Hercules and the Power Rangers.
That's awesome.
Hercules and the Power Rangers right here, and I'm just like, and we're at a castle. I was just like, this is my life. This has wrapped up my whole life. After that movie, I said I never need to work on another movie again. Devil's Night was such an amazing experience. I got really mad at Waleed on that one. I feel bad.
Poor Walls.
He couldn't walk. I was so mad at him one day that I stayed up like 24 hours and redid this whole Bone Devil suit. Probably did unnecessarily, but I was like furious and freaking out. I was going through something. Not how it should be. Me and Waleed, we have therapy sessions through these lives. So when I talk, he's listening right now and he knows I'm sorry. And that I love you. But we don't say it to each other's face. Yeah. Well, no, this is
we're having these lives.
Since the lives, this has really become something. He finished his movie. It's great.
I can't wait to see it.
June, the first week of June, we're working on.
Reach back out to him.
I have talked to him a little bit. I need to give him like the file type and this and that. Okay. I'm waiting on a poster and a trailer from our good friend Waleed. So if he's listening, today's Monday. We're gonna have it done on Monday, but we'll see. But yeah, I need to reply to that email. But nice. I was waiting for the poster and the trailer so they can post it on their site.
Very excited.
But it's great movie.
All right, before I move forward, I want to ask you. This is going to be the first time I'm going to try the teeth thing.
I love
built it up.
God, your shape looks great today.
Thank you.
Good shape. This ear looks way more forward than that ear. And
I don't know why I had such a hard time with the ears. I took them off like 3 times.
I would meet them both in the middle.
Part of
I would meet them both in the middle.
To do the mouth though, because we talked a little bit before, you said build it up and then kind of dig away.
Because you want to be able to get some depth in, like, think about the shape of your teeth.
Yeah.
right? Like there's a skull somewhere around here you can look at, but so you're gonna have your high point where your front teeth are, and then it's gonna dig back and back and back and back.
Okay.
So
go ahead and dig it out, and then if I put because you're showing me the other time how you made teeth, like you sometimes then kind of add something to it.
Yeah, so you can kind of like rough out where you want the teeth, and then you can just take them out.
Okay.
Like that.
So you
have the gums. Then you can build a tooth effortlessly, and then put your tooth in.
All right.
If you'd like.
And I'll make the ears in the middle. Yeah. I love that texture on that guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could have called them done, but I think I'm just gonna keep
cool.
Going, keep making.
So the texture is just you.
So I'm using two different things. When it's linear pour texture, I'm using this as like a dash mark, so it gives like those linears. And then when it's the solid pour dots, like what you would see on a nose or sometimes on the cheeks, I use the back of this brush here.
And just kind of move fast like that when you're doing it. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, this ear is it's funny because, like I said, I don't know if you saw it, but I literally took this right ear off 4 times. I'm gonna tear them apart. So I was like, but they need to be in the right spot. See if I tear them apart. Oh yeah, shit! I'm looking at the teeth right now. That's cool. I think that I'm glad you gave me a little bit of the things. I think I would have started them up too high. There's something else I wanted to tell you about Scream. I forgot.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. It's like, and again, working like what I've enjoyed about kind of having the film festival, working in what we do with distribution, having the YouTube channel, getting to see what people will watch and like. You become really aware of like Scream shouldn't be anything else. Like I don't think I should ever direct a Scream movie. Not that anybody is asking me to, right. But I don't. I mean, I think I could have a lot of fun. But I think some of my original ideas, if I was like, oh, you know what I do, I don't think they would. I don't think they're the right. I don't think that people would want that as much as I would.
The funny thing is, I really think I could direct a Scream movie.
But love it.
I could not write a Scream movie. I've had a really hard time writing the red herring whodunit. I've tried. My original script for Teddy Told Me To too. I was trying to make a total whodunit, like Scream, like you have no idea till the end, and then it makes all the sense. The Sixth Sense, Scream, that '90s, 2000s whodunit.
Yeah.
I struggled immensely with it, and so then I had a couple other people write it for me. And I didn't think they did a good enough job. Not that they didn't try and they didn't write a great script, and it just wasn't. It wasn't Kevin Williamson, man. There's gold in what he does. And people can talk shit about M. Night Shyamalan, but I doubt anybody knew that Bruce Willis was dead.
No.
And then now everybody, I knew it. I'll never believe it. I'll never believe that.
Yeah. Because in that moment in time, did you meet one person that was like, "Oh, I knew it"? No, in that moment in time,
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
I researched it before I went to see it. I was excited about a ghost movie. I was really into that stuff. Mm-hmm. I believe I worked at the movie theater when it came out. Nobody knew that ending, and then once you did, it almost makes it an unwatchable movie because you're like, well, I guess I watched it one more time that I was like, oh, now you can see, but then you're like, well, now there's no point to watch it. I already know it. Except to show somebody who doesn't know it, but then that became too quickly sought after and known.
But that's also sort of like what I don't think M. Night Shyamalan gets enough credit for. I think my knock, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. End of story.
Okay, cool.
I love M. Night Shyamalan.
Good, because a lot of people don't.
I think Unbreakable maybe is my favorite movie ever.
That's the only movie he made that I hate.
Love it.
I hate that movie. I think I probably.
Why do you hate it? I think we might have to talk about it, but I don't remember.
Because anybody who has got no weakness except for water shouldn't be balding. Number one. Superman's hair can hold a fucking anvil from the ceiling with one strand of hair. I don't believe that you're unbreakable if you have male pattern baldness. I think.
I love the detail.
I think that Bruce Campbell should have played Bruce Willis's part.
I don't think Bruce Willis or Bruce Campbell could have played.
Yes, he could. He's got that superhero chin.
No, Bruce Campbell's amazing. One of my favorite
I
people
think
in
he
the world.
could have done it
But I don't-
completely
I
not
don't know.
not campy.
Yeah, and he's got the
Nobody
ability
gives
to
him
do
the
it. You're right.
opportunity.
You're right. You're right.
But he's an unassuming person that once he says, "I'm Superman," you're like, "Fuck yeah, you are. You look just like him." Duh, you got the chin, you got the hair, you are Superman.
But I think that's sort of the point, though, right?
Yes,
Like,
but it's a
he's meant
weakness.
to look very
No,
unassuming.
can't.
He's supposed to be the average man.
There's an easier average man that doesn't have a pot belly and a fucking
this-
balding head.
This is the point, though, that I was getting at with all of horror movies, is I love us as horror fans where we have our silly sticking points. It's like, you're over here, like, I'm over here complaining about, like, some of the details of how the Scream worlds are set up. But I love that Jason exists, and it's complete horseshit. Like, all of it's stupid, but I love that we get, like, granular about silly things like male pattern baldness.
But when you're being sold as a guy who has no weakness except for afraid of water,
well, there's it in itself too, though. This guy.
If baldness came from dehydration, I'd take it. But it doesn't. He should have just had chapped lips all the time, and he's always like.
I mean, if you want to bring it down, I think the fact that he just what's actually the worst part of that movie.
I'm gonna tell you this. There's another part to this. This is where I get real petty. I one time dressed up like Leatherface on Halloween.
Okay.
And I went to a screening of Evil Dead. If you have the Book of the Dead, Evil Dead DVD, it came in the Book of the Dead.
Yep.
And you're on the special features menu, there's a little skull. If you scroll over to the skull and click on it, you will see me dressed like Leatherface as a young Tommy Devlin.
What?
And I attack the camera with my chainsaw. And then it cuts to me in the theater several times, and I'm sitting there with my best friend
How
Jamie.
old are you?
I had to be 19, maybe 20. And my friend Jamie and Josh Cornell, who wrote the After Dark, we're all sitting there watching Evil Dead. And I never broke character, stayed in the Leatherface mask. Second Leatherface mask I ever made. And then, when it comes to the costume contest, I did the chainsaw dance from Chainsaw 2. And I helped with the chainsaw. I jumped up on
I know
a chair,
where this is going.
helped on a chainsaw. And then I stood in that room full of movie geeks, and they voted for the costume contest. And a guy wearing a red beret, no other costume, just a red beret and holding a little micro cassette player, won first place as the dude from Rushmore. I hate that movie. I'll never watch that movie. That costume was dumb. And I won second place. That guy, now mind you, DVD players were brand new at this point.
Right.
That guy got a bag of Dimension DVDs, like a tremendous amount of DVDs. Okay. What did number 2 get? Me? I got an extra large. First of all, I wore a medium at this time. I got an extra large Unbreakable t-shirt.
Oh, nice. That would fit me.
I was pissed. I hated that movie already, and then I really hated that movie.
Oh,
I lost to Rushmore. Leatherface on Halloween on Hollywood Boulevard lost to Rushmore.
There's a lot of baggage with.
I lost all of my faith for Hollywood film at that moment.
I love it.
But I am on the Evil Dead DVD, which I had no idea was going to happen, and that's really cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, at the Egyptian Theater. So you guys can all go watch your Book of the Dead edition. You'll see young Tommy Devlin before he was a real deal effects artist. Actually, I was on my way. I think I was already working on X-Files as an intern.
Well, that's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, what I was gonna say is if you want to really the fact that there's even the moment in the movie where he falls in the pool into into the pool cover and starts it's also one of those things of movies where it's like they introduce oh, he's got a weakness and now you have to show and it's it's kind of dumb.
What do you think about the Village?
I love the Village.
I love the Village.
I hate when people didn't like it.
I love the Village. I lived there. That area of Pennsylvania is where I'm from. Yeah. And you could build a colony in the middle of the woods and nobody would ever know until now with drones. You just would never know. I love that. And I kind of wanted to do it. I was like, let's go. When my daughter was born, we lived in Florida and there was this place we called Arrested Development behind us where I used to ride my 4-wheeler. It was like a development they started building but then quit. When the real estate collapsed in 2006.
Yeah.
So I used to ride my 4-wheeler back there. When my daughter was born, I told my wife, in a half serious way, I was like, we should go move in to the development back there and raise our kids like it's 1988 with answering machines, and we could build a community of people that don't want the internet and don't want the future, and we could just live on Cartoon Express and He-Man and VHS, and we could raise our kids like it's the 80s with landline phones.
I love it.
And we didn't do it.
So we did. Yeah, I feel like what I was gonna say too before I forget was like the thing about M. Night Shyamalan. What I love about him was like, you knew after.
I love that you love him, being that you're like kind of a movie snob back in the day.
Yeah, but he's one of the people that brought me into it. Like he was like,
It's cool because a lot of people turned on him.
Yeah, and I didn't. I would fight people over. I would get into heated debates with movie nerds because this is the other thing I hate about movie nerds and why I hate Letterboxd is like it's just the pretentiousness. Like I'm sitting here saying I didn't really like Scream,
Yeah, like Jesse,
but I love Scream.
Like
I'll watch all of them over and over again.
7 online publicly for everyone, just so they know that he has an opinion.
Well, and it's just also when somebody's so successful and like does something so well, then to be judged. You have to have some awareness that like The Sixth Sense is a
great movie.
It's a great movie. It's lightning in a bottle. It's like, and so, I don't know, just to shit on everything he did since is like, some of his last movies are pretty hard to watch.
I don't know what I watched.
Well, actually, just one of them is really hard to watch.
I don't know if I've seen anything after. I really liked the Alien one, Science.
Cool. Science is another masterpiece.
And a lot of people hated that one, man.
Yeah.
That was one.
But I just felt like once he got pop, it's like the old thing, where kids with punk rock.
Yeah.
Like your favorite band they have their song playing on the radio, and everyone's like, they suck.
But
I
the
hate
thing
them.
is with M. Night Shyamalan and people like that, they didn't make $0 grassroots movies. They started at $1 million budgets. So.
Do you know what M. Night Shyamalan's first movie is?
No.
And I've still never watched it, but I'm like 99%. Because when I fell in love with him and I started watching all the movies, I was like, I got to see if he's got anything before Sixth Sense. And he made some movie where like Rosie O'Donnell, I think, is the lead, and like a kid, and I want to say it's like a religious comedy sort of.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
watch it.
And I bought it. I have the physical copy of it somewhere, but I've never actually watched it.
You should.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I'd like to see it. I love Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, what I thought was awesome about it was that I was like, how cool is that like that's his first big shot, and then everything else was like, like that must have been a movie. I don't know.
Yeah, he got hired.
Movie got hired to make it.
Maybe.
But maybe not. You're right. Like
Rosie. So that's an interesting thing because M. Night Shyamalan's from Philly. Rosie O'Donnell on her show was very into where I'm from in the Poconos, which is about an hour from Philly, and she would always give away like resort stays in our town.
Oh.
But one time, all my friends went on the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Oh yeah.
Turning freaks to geeks. They were all these punk rock guys. Tim Neville, my friend Will Savinsky, like trashed Rosie O'Donnell's office, like destroyed it, or the green room or something, because they wouldn't let him on because he wasn't 18. But Steve Shikaitis and Becky Shikaitis, they're both dead now. But these guys were all like super, like Tim Neville, he sits up behind the couch and like licked Rosie's face, and he looks like Marilyn Manson. And it's just, I remember watching this episode.
So Rosie doesn't like you as much as she.
No, but like she's very rooted in the Northeast, which is where he is from. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Like maybe they knew each other from the local theater, or
Yeah. It's
also the fact that Rosie O'Donnell's in John Waters stuff, who's from Maryland, which is just 3 hours from where we were, or whatever. Could be wrong about that, but.
I hope I didn't just make all that up. I'm pretty sure
that's cool though.
As I get older, my memory. That's why when people talk about what do you call it, the Mandela effect?
Oh yeah.
I love the idea of it, but I don't believe in it at all.
Oh, I do.
Here's why I don't believe in it at all is because as I've gotten older,
you can't remember.
My memory's garbage. So like, when people say like,
are you telling me that you didn't read the Bernstein Bears?
Yeah, I 100% remember it that way.
But you telling me that you don't remember Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah, I do.
So our whole memories have been shifted into some garbage that doesn't even make sense. Bernstein bears? That doesn't even make sense. Magic mirror on the wall? Never happened. I'll never believe it. And I freaking totally remember both Shazam and Kazam. I remember them both.
Yeah, that's another one I remembered a
And
lot too.
I remember Sinbad in that movie. I watched the movie. I rented that movie from Movies to Go. I remember that movie. So I'll never believe that it didn't happen.
Well, and
I
I
have some weird personal Mandela effects too. Like my mom absolutely doesn't remember taking me, my brother, my Aunt Kathy, and her kids to the Grand Canyon, which this happened. My Aunt Kathy's kids all remember it. I remember it. My brother and my mom don't.
Well, and
Bizarre.
so to clarify too, that's like when I say that, it's like I also have many of those weird. I don't know what that means. Here's how I feel
I
about
believe
life
it's
and
time
everything.
travel.
I don't. Yeah,
I
exactly.
believe
Like
it's time travel. I believe that people are time traveling and it is screwing things up slightly. I mean, there's something about that, like 10% changes every time someone time travels.
butterfly effect.
A little bit. And I actually for a while believed that my mom time travels sometime in the future or maybe already. I don't know. But she screwed up her own self because like she's like this global traveler. She's like traveling Matt from Fraggle Rock. And I think that if it were available, her and her dude would
Take advantage.
they
They
would
would
go
for sure.
try to time travel. And I think it has screwed up some things. Like there's weird stuff that has changed with her that I can only attribute to the Mandela effect. It's just she's not the same as what I remembered.
Also, by the way, when I say I don't believe in it, or it's not even that, it's like
You
I
can't
wouldn't,
confirm
I
or
wouldn't
deny.
argue against it, and I love that people. I have a lot of weird fringe. One day, I'm sure you and I will end up in a long conversation about weird shit.
Oh yeah.
Because I love those conversations. But yeah, I could never confidently argue that I remember anything
Right.
because I have so many, and even as I've gotten older, like similar to what you're saying, is like I'll talk to my brother about something, like, you remember that thing? And there's many things that we remember perfectly.
And you'll notice a lot of things that you won't remember will center around Disneyland. Disney in general. There's some weird stuff. And I think that's because a lot of people time travel to go back to the Disneyland they remember. And I think it's freaking people out and messing things up. Or Disney has developed some time travel, and that's why it's so centered around. I mean, every Disney movie is different, and than what we remembered when we were kids. It's
Right.
so bizarre. And even if we trace back, Shazam could have been produced by Disney.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that go right back to Disney. And now there's a lot of Star Wars Mandela effects, which is owned by Disney. Yeah. Luke,
Sheila, what
I
do you
am your
think?
father. That's what we all said into a fan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, where are you at on all this?
Oh, I think the Mandela effect is real.
See, I love that. Yeah.
Kayla has heard
I
me
love,
bitch about this for years.
I love it. Yeah, again, I will never argue with somebody about their fun ideas with things because I have lots of my own. Like that one is just one I can't dive into because I just don't think my brain's properly like I think it functions at the right level to have the confidence.
I'm gonna switch
The memory.
gears and conversation real quick.
Yep.
If there was a movie that you wanted, that you were able, if you were able to remake your own as a director slash producer, whatever cinematographer, whatever you want to do in
Right.
life. If there was a movie you wanted to remake, what would it be? And would you do it, or would you think that it's a little too forbidden?
It's a great question because on the top of my head, it's like yes, but then when you think about it for a minute, it's like I don't think it's too forbidden. I think it's a lot of it would be a lot of what do you call it? Like,
The other thing is,
responsibility.
what if it was hands off and no, like Rob Zombie will tell you he had a terrible experience remaking the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
And part of that is, and also with the Munsters, part of that is fan expectation management,
Yeah.
and part of that is studio expectation management. So, like the Munsters, when he remade that, they never spoke one word about it till it was finished in the can, done, because they didn't want any negative energy and
Oh,
response
that's cool.
to affect the actual
I actually love his
film.
monsters.
I do too. But what what film would it be, and would your apprehensions be, if any?
I mean, I guess if it was in the horror world, I think I would love to do a Friday the 13th. I think that if I could really just pick one, and that's a big one, but I just feel like I would love to do a Friday the 13th. The only thing about that, though, is I don't know that I have anything original to bring to it. So it's just like now I'm just playing in their sandbox, and I think I would still love that a lot.
And not making a sequel, but a retelling.
Yeah.
Would you retell a specific movie or just Friday the 13th starting back at the beginning?
If I was going to do the Friday the 13th, I think I would start back. I would add some sort of like little bit of background. And this is where you gotta be careful because I think it could also turn to shit.
I mean, that's what Rob Zombie did with Halloween.
Yeah, and
I loved it.
I loved it at the time. I don't like it as much anymore.
Really, I love it.
I've lost.
I think Rob Zombie's Halloween, to me, is very watchable today.
It's watchable for sure.
When I'm in a hotel, actually with Jesse, we were in a hotel one time, and Halloween was on, and I think he was there. I'm pretty sure he was there, and we watched, and I was just like, this cast is phenomenal. These girls are great. The story flows. Why does everybody hate this movie?
I think that I actually really liked his first one. I didn't like the second one that much, but honestly, I only saw it in theaters, and I need to watch it again.
I really enjoyed it. I love some of the things he did. Is what, to me, a real horror fan would do. One of the things is the survivor girls have scars. You never see that ever. Yeah. You know, Adrienne King shows up in Friday the 13th Part 2 for a minute. She don't have any scars.
Yeah.
Nancy never has a problem. Like, nobody ever has, like, residual, other than emotional baggage, they never have a problem. But in his, like, Danielle Harris had scars. You know, that was cool. That was very cool.
Yeah, I think that I would, if I was got to do it and I could just really play, I think I would want to, like, kind of, I had this concept a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, for a Friday the 13th movie. I mean, fuck, probably 20 years ago. And it was that, like, because I think the original Friday the 13th trailer counts down the deaths.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, how cool would it be if the whole thing that Pamela was doing was like she had to kill 13 people and herself had to be the last. She knew she had to sacrifice herself, and then Jason would rise. And so that was like this whole thing that I wanted to go back and, like, I had started writing the script too before I knew how to write anything. I was just like, oh, this is so. But that's what I guess I probably would play with, is like having some element of that. And I don't know, fans might fucking hate that. But I just thought that would be fun because I always loved the counting in that trailer, and probably all of it was you know, inspired by that idea. I was like, oh, like at the end when she kind of, when she gets her head chopped off, if you just saw a beat where you realize that she kind of like puts her hands down, like Obi-Wan lets it, but not, unknowing. And then that sort of explains also why in the morning he jumps out of the lake, and it was real. But yeah, I think I would love to do that. Another one I always wanted to do was Shocker. Like, I would love to do
Shocker. Yeah, Shocker.
Because I think Shocker.
That's a little bit more kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's taking something that's lesser known and lesser accepted as being good.
Yeah.
And because I'll be honest, I think Shocker is just as good as Friday the 13th, and people will hate you for saying that. But what I just think that Friday the 13th had already been established. Nightmare on Elm Street had already been established. Shocker was just a generic copycat.
Yeah.
But had Shocker come first,
there was a lot of original things.
If Shocker had come before those movies, then you'd be like, oh wow, did you guys see this movie with Pinkerton?
But Shocker is when it goes to like 80s horror, it's for me, it's like going back and rewatching what I love so much is there are movies like Fright Night, Night of the Creeps, and even Monster Squad that literally just nail all the magic of it all.
And entertainment.
It's like there's fun, the characters are deep and but very shallow, you're not like, it's just the characters work so well, the script works so well, the monsters and the silliness. Like, Night of the Creeps is crazy.
I love
fucking crazy.
I love Tom Atkins. Man.
Yeah, I love Tom Atkins too. But I mean, that whole movie is like, starts with like some little aliens, and back in the 40s, and the zombie. It's like, it's got so many elements, and then it just comes into this one night movie that's so good.
Fred Dekker was a genius.
Dude, I love Fred Dekker's movie.
So I have an opportunity to remake one of my favorite movies that not everybody knows about. Like not everybody. I'm not gonna say it right now because there's not an NDA in place, but this is like a legit opportunity that could happen really soon, like right after the movie we do.
Oh wow.
But it's an interesting thing because I really wanted to get moving on Teddy Told Me to Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a golden opportunity in front of me that some people wouldn't look as gold. They would look at it like Shocker. Like, really?
I think Shocker
Like
my number one. To
like that's the one you want to do. You know what I mean? And this is a movie that I absolutely loved. Similar to Friday the 13th. Very similar to Friday the 13th. A slasher movie that I absolutely loved as I was becoming a filmmaker myself, an effects artist, before I knew what avenue of film I wanted to do. I mean, I always wanted to be an effects artist, but at one point I did want to direct and produce at the very beginning before I met my wife. And then I kind of let that be her thing for a long time until Teddy. But this is a movie that I would have at one time given my left nut to do a sequel for, like to do the effects on. I ended up befriending everybody involved with these productions, the producer, the cinematographers, the actors. I know them all. They're my circle of friends. And due to recent events, I had a conversation with somebody, one of the producers who owns the property, and there's a really good chance there could be a Tom Devlin's blank. And I always said I would never put my name above a movie. The only one I would do is if it was a remake, I would have to, because otherwise,
like Realms
how are
Adams,
they going to
Halloween.
know?
Yeah.
How are they going to know it's not the original? Because I'm going to call it the same title. I'm not going to call it like, I don't want it to be a sequel. It's like the Friday the 13th remake or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake or Amityville Horror remake or Hills of Eyes remake. I want to add that quality to kind of a gonzo movie.
Right.
Like when you look at the Hills of Eyes remake and the Hills of Eyes original, the original movie's awesome, but it's campy and it's low budget and it's cheap. And the remake is polished and sick and sepia tone. Same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
I want to add that polished, sick sepia tone. And I know I'm only working on, $30,000, whatever my budget, my tiny budget. But it towers over the budget of the original. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The original is probably made for less than $5,000. So it was shot. I mean, it was shot on a high-8 video camera. Okay. It's so just by adding 4K and a grip truck, we're doing good, and some really good actors. And I'm like, what if I could get? I mean, my mind's gone crazy, but I'm like, what if I can get Anthrax to do the opening title song? Or what if I get, or get Cinderella or somebody, just, I know a lot of hairband guys that I'm friends with, and if I could pull a favor, that's kind of what I love to do to my little tiny movies is make them feel as big as possible.
Yeah.
But to take this like low budget movie that I always thought was absolute gold and give it a complete overhaul within the same story. God, add some real talent actors in there. And I think that, I don't know, I'm just real excited about this.
That's awesome.
And, but I don't know if it's the right move. I've talked a lot about it with my wife, and she's very familiar with the source material because when we first met, I was so obsessed, and it was something that I made her watch about 1,000,000 times. And she never saw The Charm. She never saw what I saw, and she still doesn't. And because of that, it makes me want to prove her. But like she's pointed out, like there is not a fan base of that movie that is going to make like Teddy Told Me To's fan base probably rivals the fan base. So like, and probably the same people, honestly. Teddy Told Me To wouldn't exist. Actually, my movie The Trek wouldn't. A lot of movies I've made wouldn't exist without influence from this film. And I don't know. It's something that came up last Friday, and I've been kind of thinking about it all weekend. And the longer I think about it, the more I'm like, oh my God, this could be so good. For
Well,
the
in the
people,
end,
for
it's
the
like-
people that care about the crap, they'll love what I do, or they'll absolutely hate it. Kind of like Laughter Face. They're either gonna love it or they're gonna absolutely hate it, and that's okay with me. I like
that's
both.
part of the
I like
job.
both.
Yeah.
I want the haters, because like then Taylor Swift will write me a song. The haters.
uh, I think that's why, like, to that's a Chris. Like, I do think that it would be more fun to do what you're talking about doing, and like even going back to like the Shocker. I think there's a lot of people like us that love Shocker for what it is.
But there's so many that don't.
But I also think that like us, I don't know if anyone made a remake of Shocker, I don't think my expectation would be anything. So
Right.
whatever it was, I would enjoy it.
So that's the thing. The hardest part about this expectation thing is this. I need him to at least watch it.
Right.
Because there's been a lot of sequels of this movie, and they're not good. And when you put another installment in a franchise of a lot of shit, they might not watch that. We just dealt with that. On my show with Nightmare Christie, we talk about the movies I worked on. We just went through the Killjoy franchise. The 3 Killjoy movies I worked on, 3, 4, and 5, are great. 3 and 4 are 2 of the best full moon features in the last 20 years.
I've never seen the Killjoy movies.
Nobody watches those movies because they got real dumb before ours.
Right.
So then they've kind of been discounted as something people don't watch. And what I can say is I would fear more people not watching it based on what they think of the others than.
Right.
But I just think I could change their mind if they did see it. They'd be like, "Whoa!" But then you think of the Night of the Demons remake, and it's awful. It was trash.
See, I think that's the other thing too, is like when they do some of those remakes where it's just like I feel like Hellraiser has a few of these, like where they just take.
But Hellraisers are at least sequels, not remakes.
Yeah, sequels.
Although they did that one remake with the newest one with the ladies. But the sequels, you can take them or leave them. But if it's a remake, you either got to be better or you got to be so bad people are talking about it.
Yeah, and I felt like that was with some of the Hellraisers. I feel like because the original ones are I think how many did he direct? 3?
One.
Did he only direct the one?
I think Clive Barker is only responsible for one of
Or
them.
one? Oh well.
Yeah, maybe 2.
But I still feel like the early couple.
I can't believe
feels
I don't
right.
know that answer.
I know you're my encyclopedia for this.
No.
It wasn't Clive Barker.
I
at
love
all.
Bloodlines, but I know Clive didn't
Barker.
direct that. I don't think he directed part 3, and I couldn't tell you who directed part 2. I think it was him. Maybe he did 1 and 2. The worst DVD experience I ever had was I was so excited to get Hellraiser because it had an audio commentary from Clive Barker, and I was like, finally. And I listened to it, and all he did was bash the movie. And I was like, you're breaking my heart. I love this movie, and now you hated it? I don't understand.
That's from the original?
Yeah, part 1.
Interesting.
I was just like, oh, God. It's kind of like hearing Rob Zombie talk about House of Seven Corpses. It's like, Jesus, guy.
I'll tell you why I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan. And it's that I don't love his dialogue. It exhausts me. And I'm not, I cuss plenty. And actually, I can be quite.
I try not to put, I don't like F-bombs and stuff in movies.
Yeah, and I just feel like it kills some of his characters. Is like they all, much like Kevin Smith's characters. If you watch Kevin Smith movies, they all feel like Kevin Smith wrote every character. Yeah. They're different, but they all use words that their characters should not really use. But it's kind of the charm of what it is. That's his style. And I love it with Kevin Smith, but with Rob Zombie, I don't. I don't
funny because I compare those two a lot. Kevin Smith and Rob Zombie.
I think that there's something about their approach that is very similar. And I like that. I love Rob Zombie. Like, I just don't. His movies, I'm like, they're just a little too gross for me.
I love his movies. I love 31. I love. I know the only one that I didn't really like get over on was Lords of Salem.
Yeah, see, I'm
not my favorite.
I'm behind a bunch on his movies, and I want to one day. I will one day.
31 is really fun, especially as a haunter, especially as a Halloween guy. And then I loved. I think House of a Thousand Corpses is his first movie is his best movie. And then I love Monsters, and I know that's a very controversial opinion with that movie, but they can all just.
I don't know. I don't understand why people don't like Monsters, other than if you never watched the Monsters,
That's
you
the
get
thing.
it.
I believe that most of the people that hate that movie love T-shirts that are black with neon green images, and they never actually watched the show. And if they did watch the show, all they wanted was a movie version of the show,
Right.
which isn't what this is. It's a prequel. It's awesome. I loved it.
But I feel like it nailed the movie version of the show. I really do, like in the sense of like the tone.
Yeah.
So when I heard he was doing it at first, I was
But
like, oh
they
man.
wanted Marilyn and Eddie, and they wanted Spot, and they wanted the
Right.
house. They wanted the Dracula and the Monster Coast. They wanted everything we already have. Rob gave us something we don't have: the backstory,
Yeah.
the old world, and I loved
But
it.
in the fun, like
Oh,
silly way.
he is and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And everybody that bitches about Sherry playing Lily, I'm sorry. Put them side by side. She kills it.
She does. And
She
it's
is
like,
not shaped like Yvonne DiCarlo, but man, her mannerism is there. You know,
it's another one of those small details.
it's a
like
stupid
get
thing.
caught up.
Stupid. They get so rude about it too, and I'm like, Daniel Roebuck should have got an Academy Award for that movie.
He was great.
It's so good. And then he showed up on Las Vegas Frankenstein. So
He was good in that too. He was fun. That was the day I came down to set.
yeah.
That was fun to watch it. Well, what time is it?
I don't know. My dad was just working back
But I
there,
know
so
that you
we
got
might
stuff to do, so-
might be out of time.
All right, so let's.
What time is it, Galen?
12:15.
Oh yeah, we should be out of time.
I'll show you where I'm at.
You're looking good.
So
It's looking good.
I think I'm planning on
I like
plugging
that
in
you're
top
taking
teeth.
the look from your face that you weren't happy with, and you're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah,
Yeah, trying
I
to
like
do it right.
I like that. I think you got another day on it, obviously, but
Definitely.
I like that.
That's what I was like. I think
And I'm detailing.
I love that.
I could probably be done in about an hour, but I'm really milking this one. It's because it's fun.
That's all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be funny.
I like this guy.
All right. Well,
All right, let's call it, guys. Thank you for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
the regular technical difficulties.
And, we'll do this again.
We'll see you next
Monday.
Monday. All right. Oh.
I got all kinds of waving happening.